Hey everybody, I'm Tom Basil.
I'm Z Garcia. Hi.
Sam Healy. Welcome back, folks.
It's Kickstarter time. And we're talking about Kickstarters because we do that every other Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And there's always new stuff on Kickstarter. In case you're confused, you can go look. Remember that when we talk about Kickstarter, we're talking about a fraction, a fraction of what is there. People say sometimes we're kind of negative. If we had to talk about every Kickstarter project,
would we be more negative?
It would not come across very well.
Oh.
So that's the truth of it, though, right?
I agree. That's 100% true.
But there are some cool projects, or not. That's a new company I'll start.
Cool projects or not?
Capon.
Just go all in, man. CPON.
All right. Let's take a look at our projects. Here we go. Metro City. When I first saw this, I thought for sure that this was from the Saddler Brothers, because it did that Street Fighter game, and I thought this was the next one.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
But it does look like this is Double Dragon.
It looks like a lot of things, actually.
It doesn't look like it has any IPs in it at all.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's ripping off any IPs, right?
No,
is that what you're saying?
Not even close.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yep.
And then what do we got? A little Mortal Kombat action, some Street Fighter.
I think those look like plants come to life.
Yeah, that's what that is. Down a little farther down, you have a character by the name of, what is his name?
I'd say that looks like Strong Guy from Marvel Comics.
It does, yeah, it does. It looks like they took a smattering. That's like old Logan.
Old man Logan.
Fat Wolverine.
Yeah, fat old man Logan.
Old man chubby Logan.
And
then down here, look.
Look.
This is Ryu.
Right,
no, Jack.
Definitely not Ryu and Ken. No, that's not Chun-Li either.
Zangief.
That's not Zangief. Come on. And this dude. Oh, look, there's one of the Road Warriors. Oh, wait, no, that can't be. That's Evaristo. Oh, I got it. Yeah.
This is all over the place, man.
It is.
They just took from everybody with wanton abandon.
Yep. Wait, no, keep going. No, absolutely, keep going.
Sorry.
We got to see all. No, stop. Look at those technique cards. There's, there's Sonic Blow.
Sonic Blow!
Kamehame Yuken!
Kamehame Yuken!
What?
Well, I think it's supposed to be a parody.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a parody. Okay.
Well, I mean, there's stuff in like Zombie Side, which is
keep going, keep going. Keep going.
Does this Kickstarter?
Oh, look, that's not Leonardo at all. It's Leonardo with a tail.
Oh man,
is that a lizard?
I guess.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Lizards.
But I mean, they've got 4 fingers.
Heroes in a
Mutant Ninja Lizards. Mutant Ninja Lizards.
Wait, I don't know how it ends. Heroes at a half
tail. Lizard power. Yeah, that's not Judge Dredd at all.
Cybercop, dude. Stress bots.
And that's not Krang.
I like this guy's called Boss Banhammer, though. That's a great.
Boss Banhammer. Yeah, I mean, the production quality looks
I like the art style.
Great.
Sure do,
the art style is amazing, but boy, it's like they had their tongue surgically implanted into their cheek on this one.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to a different Kickstarter.
It's just real derivative, but it looks cool.
All right, Ashes to Ashes, a Kickstarter exclusive game for the fear of missing out, of course. If you don't get this, you don't get anything.
Yep.
It says to create it. What's the other one? Oh, these are the faceless guys.
Yeah.
This is the magnet game. Here's the thing. I would have skipped this over but I noticed that it was funded. That's always something that catches my eye. And then when I clicked that and I saw it was a faceless, I was like, oh, okay, I'll look at this. But this art right here, I do not like. I don't know why.
It looks a little generic to me.
Bowl of blood
Font
right there.
looks a little generic.
Yeah.
I
That's
got
Kool-Aid.
about I went as far down as when they show you the gameplay, and then they have the little animation showing you the gameplay. I'm like, oh, it's an abstract strategy
Well,
game.
it says that at the top. It says that
like,
it's an abstract strategy
Well,
game
Put a
set
thing,
in the
move
19th
through the little
century or
lines,
whatever.
like
Sure, but remember, the faceless is magnets, which is basically abstract strategy. Move the
Sure.
stuff around to the magnets, but it worked in
I
that
haven't
regard.
played that though. You like that?
I did like it. I thought it was unique and interesting. This one just doesn't look as unique and interesting. The other one had that cool artwork of like the kids and in the mirror.
Right.
That was neat. Yeah, I don't know. This one is the game itself isn't necessarily selling me, but it's on basis of the last game.
Also, the Google Translate is strong with this Kickstarter. Some
all
of the
those
paragraphs were just
all
a
these
little-
people do look very generic, but all right. The Island of El Dorado Revenge expansion.
This looks
Have
really
you
good.
played this?
No, this is one of those really big Kickstarters that not only have I not ever played it, I've never even seen it.
Right.
I
I've
know
never
that it's a
played
big
this.
one. It did really
Yeah.
well,
Well,
and it looks kind of
Looks
cool.
really good.
Looks like it
looks
could
like a-
fit in our top 10 list we're doing tomorrow.
Of
exploration.
games. Yeah. It looks neat. It looks like there's a ton going on. And of course, now we're getting this new expansion. But Sam was telling me that this is a deluxe version, and they're including two other expansions.
Also for the deluxe version, yeah.
So the metric ton of content.
I'm not sold on the artwork.
It looks,
I mean, those are real people. I guess
I
it's
mean,
real
that artwork,
artwork.
I'm pretty sure is what is that called?
Public domain?
Public domain artwork, right?
But the game
looks like
itself looks cool. It doesn't
Yeah.
look overly complex, and I really like these ziggurats there.
Shrines, yeah. No, it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Looks
trying this
really
one
good.
out. All right, next we have Cleopatra and the Society of Architects by
Talk about-
Mojito
Talk about
Studios.
looking really good. My goodness.
Not only does it look good, they are now offering a painted
Oh, really?
option. They asked if people were interested, and it was like everyone's hand were like, whoosh.
Yeah, everybody hand goes up.
It was
Same price for the same price.
No, not the same price. It's like an extra, but it wasn't that much more. Let me see. Maybe it's down here somewhere.
They've got mosaic tiles.
I don't know if I'm like a fan of these cube boxes that we're starting to get,
Yeah.
but man, they were up against a tough goal here. This is a reprint of a Days of Wonder game,
And the Days of Wonder game was really, really nice
right?
looking.
But I'm thinking they're winning.
They pulled it off, yeah.
They're beating the Days of Wonder one.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
I'm just curious if they've changed, gameplay, or if they've updated gameplay or not. Did they make
I
a
did.
statement on that?
Yeah, no, I've read a bunch on it, and the designers Ludovic Mablanc and Bruno Catala have been involved in the whole reworking of the game.
Uh-huh.
So the scoring was modified a little bit, but it's largely the same, but a lot of it has been tweaked and changed.
Really?
Like one thing they did, for example, is in the original game, you shuffled special character cards into the deck of cards.
Yeah.
And when they came up, you drafted them, same thing. Now, all of the special characters are not in the deck. They're outside of the deck. They're always available, and they're using that river system from Conan
Really?
to buy them. So you can, on your turn, pay for one at whatever cost it's at, do the power, and then it goes to the back of the line.
Ho, ho, ho.
So
Okay.
it's like a fit, it's a perfect fit.
That's cool. Yeah, I like
Also,
that.
the river makes sense there, but yes,
Yeah, I don't know if they're calling it the river,
The
but
Nile.
you
the
know,
Nile.
I like that. I like that mechanism very much. So
See, $40 to paint it? I don't think it's that.
That's not bad.
That's not that
That's not bad.
overpriced.
$40 extra, you mean?
Yeah.
No, that's
not bad to get
no,
a paint. I
that's
mean,
not
it's
bad
probably
at
not going to be amazing, and this is probably easier to paint than, let's say, miniatures.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah,
That's
I thought
very cool.
I was wrong. I thought this was Z's pick of the week. This
it's not. It's something else, but this would have been the second one. The only reason that this is not my pick of the week is because the other thing, and we'll get to it, I am actually considering backing, and I probably will. Whereas this game, I have the original. I really like the original, and even though this looks amazing, and I look forward to playing it, I'm not plumping down the money for this.
Okay.
Going back to Island of El Dorado, someone was saying here that roll and move is the main mechanism.
I'm in, baby.
In that,
That's pretty clever.
they said it looks really good, but it's not.
Well,
But we'll see.
Roll and move is a tried and true mechanism.
Little Flower Shop mini pack. This is a tiny mini expansion from
This is,
Dr. Finn's.
Z's pick of the week, isn't it?
$3, baby.
I don't think
That's
you
not-
have you played Little Flower
I
Shop?
have not played the original.
I like this game. It's a very small drafting game where you build a little flower shop. This just adds some more packs of cards. That's it. Nothing else to say here. This is one of those ones, though, where I sit there and go, did you need to kickstart it? I feel like you could have just emailed everyone who bought a copy and said, you want one.
$1,500, yeah.
Yeah.
Is the goal.
I don't know. I mean, it does help you get the kind of another shot at the base game selling, though. If people see
Right.
this, they might go, oh, looks cool. I'll buy the base game.
Yeah.
And then get this.
Sure.
Yep.
And it's a much easier way to gauge interest. It just is.
Bike Route Sacramento.
Now we're talking.
It's challenging enough for serious gamers.
Almost made me spit, dude.
Well, this one is halfway to its goal. Now that I'm going through it, I'm trying to remember why I put this one on this. Okay, here's why. This reminds me of the first time I saw that Parks game.
What's the Parks game?
The one about national parks, trekking national parks. First time I saw that, I was like, and I walked by.
Okay.
But then it turned out that was a good game and everything. I thought maybe this is along that same.
So you put it on here because you're hoping it'll turn out to be a good game.
It might,
Even
though.
though all indications point to it not being. That's fine. That's a good reason to
You're
put
drawing pawns out of a bag in order to place them on the board.
it on. It's a rolling pawn.
No,
It's
it's
a
a grabbing
draw-
pawn.
It's a pawn shop. Let's move on. Eschaton, the unholy
This
reprinting.
gets my vote for graphic design of the year.
He's joking, of course.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I almost didn't keep going as soon as I got to a cult strategy deck building game.
Yeah, you're clanging that
Enough
bell
with
hard.
the deck building.
no.
Clanging that bell hard.
Come on now. They make 10 roll and write games for every deck building game at this point, so I don't want to hear
That's
it.
true. You're right.
What's that?
He says they make 10 roll and write games for every one deck building game, and that's probably true.
That's true. But you can also play 10 roll and writes in the time it takes to play one deck building too, so it's like
So
the same.
in this game, it apparently was filmed in 1920 because the color is gone. Oh, color!
Yeah, no, it's like their printer cartridges ran out of ink, and they just went full on grayscale except for the cubes.
I think I've seen this at a convention somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen it around too. I never played it.
It might be good. I mean, it's just that it's very black. This whole like this actually is a cult thing though. That doesn't sell me on a game. Like when you pretend, when you give that false narrative of this game could be real. It's like I just want to roll my eyes. I'm not a kid anymore where I think the thing in a treasure box is actually a real decoder.
Right.
I can get into the theme and I'll join you in the theme, but don't pretend that.
That it's real. Right?
Yeah.
Like a found object or something.
Also,
I don't really-
Ha,
I mean,
ha, lame.
I don't like the
I do like those
the
cultist
666
Meeples.
thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's something I'm going to enjoy.
Didn't we have this at one point?
Yeah, we unboxed it last year. Somebody said that. So,
It wasn't evil enough. This is the evil reprinting.
It's a wonderful world with in my opinion,
somebody said, it's set in the Dark Ages, and Robert goes, or the Sepia Ages.
It's a Wonderful World has a really cool box cover.
And a really lame title.
No, I like that title.
What a wonderful world.
It looks like a great game, actually, and I
This-
really like the cover.
This is my pick of the week.
This
I
looks
figure
really
this
good.
could be. This looks awesome.
This looks like my style of game, I like the...
Where's the grid, though?
Well, here's another thing I like
Right
just as much
there.
as grids.
The cards.
I like modular connecting boards that somehow nest into each other.
Okay.
That sort of thing always makes me happy. And also like the cards, and you see them putting them on top of each other here and bonuses. I also really like the theme. I don't like that. I personally am a fan of nice futuristic games.
Star Trek.
I get tired of dystopian garbage all the time.
Oh man, no! Come on now.
No, this is, I guess, Star Trek. Like that's what you said.
Star-
Right?
I mean,
Star-
come on.
Star Trek,
Oxygen, clean oceans.
Like that's going to happen. We don't have clean oceans right now.
That
Wow.
is a joke game. This is what were you calling the first one? A parody? Is that what you were saying?
Anyhow,
Parody.
I like the art a lot.
I do
The whole
too.
game's art looks good. I like the theming of it, the technologies. I like the virtual reality. Everyone's on the beach. They're on the beach doing virtual reality.
Yes, right, yeah.
It looks great, and I like the drafting aspect. You know, it looks like you get cards. You can then change one of those cards for a cube to build a different one. I saw a little animation. It looks awesome. I just don't like the title, but that's a that's nitpicky.
Scroll back up. Up, 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 up. A little bit more, a little bit more. Keep going. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway,
Like Nirvana, the Nirvana.
there's a lot of
album
cool
cover.
stuff. They put the main rules on the page. It does not look overly complicated, which is another thing there.
Yep.
Yeah, this looks like a solid game that could be printed by a major publisher. That's always something I look at.
Who's
Although
this done by?
this
Is this the first project for somebody?
No, these guys have also done. This is their fifth. They've also done Outlive. We all like that one, right?
Yeah, okay.
And they just did Netatanka, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but the production of that game, very, very well done. I did like their 10 Minutes to Kill. I mean, it was not great, but I liked it. Their artwork has always been done, but Outlive is their big one, right?
Nice.
We were all very impressed with that
right.
one.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Good.
All right, Manhattan Project Jamboree Cold War expansion. Is this
my
your pick of the
pick,
week?
yeah.
Because
This
when you
is your
said,
pick of the week?
well, when he said he was going to buy it, I was
because
like,
he
oh,
has
it's an
a-
expansion.
Yeah, it's got solo on it, and
That's right.
Is there a tissue box around it? I feel like it's. Oh, it's up there behind you, Roy. Could you throw it to me,
there's some
Roy?
styrofoam over here.
Can of hay?
Can I have
That tissue box, could you throw it to me?
Um,
Okay, so it's an expansion, but this expansion, I got to be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with what I saw here.
I was. I looked at it. It doesn't look like a lot of new content.
I guess that's
I'm okay
what it
with
is.
that. There's a lot of stuff going on in the base game anyway, and I like what they added here.
And
you get
solo
some of
play.
the solo play actually looks really robust. There already, I think, was a solo play in the original game, but I read the a work in progress PDF for the rulebook and all that. It looks like a very not complicated, but a well thought out solitaire mode, where
Okay.
it very cleanly simulates another player and sort of other stuff going on. That's a big thing for me. If it does that in a straightforward way, I don't want a solitaire mode where I have to actually play other characters. Like the one I tried to do, the scythe one. Tons of overhead, man. Like all the stuff you got to do, and the Atama does this and that and the other thing. I'm like, no. But this looks good.
It looks fine,
I like
and
the
I
new
mean,
stuff. I like it.
I want to upgrade the game too. It just didn't. The Doomsday Clock has an interesting idea to it. Although it's funny because the Doomsday Clock, for Energy Empire, the Cold War, the whole point of Manhattan Project is Cold War, right? And Minutes to Midnight even more so. When I play Energy Empire, I forget that we're even talking about Cold War stuff. It's about making energy and not making pollution.
Yeah.
So this kind of brings the theme of the other games into that.
Sure.
Maybe it was there. I just never
There's
noticed
also a
it.
spy card now that lets you use somebody else's building. It's modular was the other thing I liked, where I don't have to use all those things.
That's cool.
Because I can use the Doomsday Clock without using the spies, and they also give you new factions or countries that you can play as. They have all these different things. Sounded good to me. It's also pretty cheap, right? It's like $25, I think.
It's got to be cheap because there's
25, yeah.
Yeah, that's 1,200 backers. That's a lot, and it's only at 65,000, which doesn't sound like a ton of money, but for an expansion, that's pretty good.
That's my pick.
Cool.
All right. Don't even lie. Don't even pretend.
Man, you can't even let me lead into it. You just got to call me out before you say anything else.
What happened?
Okay, so Guards of
Is somebody's
Atlantis.
pick?
This is my pick of the week.
Guards of Atlantis. The only person in the world who's played that is Sam Healy.
No,
and
that
Warp
is
Gate,
not true.
Also true. So I knew
Not true.
that
Not true.
combined with hockey, this was like.
This is.
I feel like they made this game for Sam, actually.
How many
I
backers? One
seriously
backer?
doubt that. These guys are I don't know what it is, but I like everything that they've made so far, and this falls into that same category. I've been able to play this like 3 or 4 times now.
They've shown me these miniatures
I've really
before.
enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it.
There's like really tiny guys compared to some of the, like you look at the backers, like a tiny dude, then there's these hulking.
Oh yeah, the goons, man.
I'm pretty sure he's in a real hockey game. Those little guys would not last very long.
Have you never heard of Wayne Gretzky? He's like one of the smallest of the small guys. He was maybe tall.
Wayne Gretzky, Lord of the Rings?
Oh my goodness, now he's trolling.
Well done.
Thanks, Dad. Now it doesn't come painted though, right?
No, you have to. There's an upgrade. It's like a.
Can you pay $40 and get it painted?
Well, it's like $79 for the game if you have everything painted.
See, that painted looks so much better there.
Yeah,
I
it
actually
does.
know.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, that is just
sure.
a 3D render too. So
3D render painting. So you said like an $80 upgrade.
no, it's
It's All Stars right here. It's 79 or more.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too bad. That's actually a $20 upgrade.
Yeah, it's not right. It's not a 70 on top of the.
No. I said it's
good.
$70 for the game.
Yeah, it's 12 miniatures, but if you're going to get them painted, like to me, I wouldn't. If I was buying the game, I would be like $20. Pfft, yeah, I couldn't find somebody to paint my game for $20.
You could also leave it unpainted, though. Some people do that and still enjoy their games.
Well, I get
That's
that,
true,
but these guys look really cool painted.
It's still hockey.
So
even
you
if
played
paint
this?
them.
This one they said is going to be delivered in 2020. I was hoping to be faster than that, since it seems like they're pretty far along with it. But
Well, I've only ever played prototype versions of it, so I've never. It's not like they already have a pre-production copy or something like that already made up. I have played with the miniatures, which have been, which look like they're pretty much ready to go. But everything else was prototypish. So I don't know exactly how far along they are. They are. I mean, they've had a lot of success with their other 3 games, two games.
2 or 3.
yeah, but other games have hit like big time.
No, they haven't. So that's where I was going. This is still a small company, so
Right.
it's they've got their ducks in a row, so to speak. It's just that they're still pretty small.
We'll see, though. I'm telling you, sports is a hard row to hoe.
I completely agree.
In board gaming.
And this one, I'm a hockey fan, and this one does it.
All right.
I really did enjoy the game.
Clinic, which, am I the only person bugged by the fact that the last letter is capital? It just bugs me. But Clinic Deluxe
Oh,
by
yeah.
Albion Viard, artwork by Ian O'Toole. Ian O'Toole has his own cult following at this point. Like, to the point where companies are now be like, artwork by Ian O'Toole!
Wait. Why is the C capitalized here but not on the actual box?
It's all capitalized in the box.
I know, but why is it differentiated in the title when it's not differentiated on the box?
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
This is from AV. This is from Looty Booster. They've done what
A
are
lot of Euro
Pulp
games,
Detective.
heavy Euro
You
games
played that
mostly.
one, right? Pulp
I
Detective.
don't think so.
No, maybe it was me.
They're
Tramways.
heavy Euro games that look good, but they're heavy Euro games, and that's as far as you need to go to
Yes.
know that.
Right.
So you're not.
And if that
You're not gonna play
It
this
looks
one.
amazing. I like the look. I like the theme. It just doesn't seem like the kind of game I think I'll necessarily enjoy. It looks really
Heavy
really
Cardboard did it.
that's where I
Boom.
stopped. That's where I stopped. I was like, okay, they're interested in it. I'm not.
I mean, look at these components, though. They look good.
Yeah,
This
they
definitely
do.
does look like a Lacerda game.
Yes.
Honestly, the way it's put together here.
Right.
So, alrighty. Well, we'll have to check it out. I'll probably get a copy at some point.
All right.
Cristallo,
Cristallo.
the
Yep.
award-winning
This one,
solitaire.
I think carries the for the quickest turn off for me. I didn't even get past the top of the screen.
What?
Why?
Scroll
This
down.
was almost my pick.
Well, wait. If you didn't get past the top of the screen, why would I scroll down?
No, I mean, well,
Okay.
It's different for you. You have to scroll down to go up on yours.
Oh, I see. Well, so far it looks okay with the different crystals and the game.
Yeah, it said it was an abstract strategy puzzle game.
Solitaire puzzle
Solitaire.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
it. Solitaire puzzle
But
game.
Matthew Jude likes it.
If
Oh.
Matthew Jude likes it,
It's boring.
No, it looks very simple, but I mean, how much does it
15
cost?
bucks.
That's the thing. It's $15. And
it's
15
an
bucks
award. It's
has
an
a lot
award
of
winner, from BGG. But it is a print and play game that now is getting produced.
I got it.
You don't think it's your style?
This was almost my pick of the
No,
week,
it's not
man.
my style. All I had to read was that first line.
Was it really?
The award-winning solitaire puzzle game.
Yeah.
I don't have to go any further.
I'm actually interested in this one. I like the idea.
You
of
have
it.
no friends. It's a solitaire
Eh,
game.
Updrives is our next.
Okay, well, let Sam, while you recuperate, talk about this. Sam,
Asymmetrical worker placement.
Actually, I was very interested in this game.
Okay, cool.
This one worries me because this is the kind of game that can go too much, right? They're like, put this in the game. Why not put some more in? It looks like it could be that way. Like, look, that's a lot of stuff going on there.
Frame, I didn't read that one earlier.
Does that say plays in 8 hours?
It says 30 minutes per player.
It says funded in 8
Oh.
hours. Stop trolling.
Fun in infinity. It depends which way you're looking at it.
It's infinitively funded.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like it's my kind of thing.
No, I'm
You
not
know
even
what
sure
it
if
gives
it's
me
my kind of
flashbacks
thing.
to? It gave me flashbacks to Z-Man's Clash of Cultures. Way back in the day. Do you remember that one?
I do
The
remember
big
that
elephant
one.
on the cover?
Oh, yes.
I just, not for me. I don't like that kind of thing. This looks like that.
It just needs to
Everything
be
and the
different,
kitchen
though. There's a lot of games that use this exact Mediterranean map.
Right.
sink. Yeah, but it has this thing.
Worker placement,
A rondelle sort of
worker
kinda.
placement, and it has different tribes that probably have different abilities on it.
Yeah,
I
baby.
like that.
Sure,
that's
but
why I was interested in it.
there's a lot going on it.
No,
That's,
I understand.
That's my only worry. I'm not saying I think it'll be bad. I'm just worried that there's
That
too
might
much.
be the one thing that ultimately does it in for me is that it's just too much. But I am interested in it. It looks
Sam,
good.
I think you could, I think this is more up Sam's alley.
All right,
I
cool,
hope
cool.
it's a really heavy Euro game.
The game Canopy Deep Space. Now this could have been my pick of the week. I didn't because you can get a Dice Tower version, so that would have felt weird. But this, we all have Game Canopy bags. I think the normal ones, the original ones. You have one, right?
What?
Game Canopy bag.
I do.
Yeah,
I think we all do, don't we?
I
Yeah,
think so.
baby.
Yeah.
You got one too? All right. So yeah, I use it all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Deep Space is basically the same thing. So now it can hold the long games. It can also hold the really big ones like.
Just say it. Gloomhaven.
No, I wasn't thinking Gloomhaven, but the big square ones that are too big to fit in the other one, the Bones one.
Too many?
Too many bones?
Too Many Bones. Yeah, that game's too. It's like
Too
Ticket to
many-
Ride's like this.
Too many cubic inches?
Yeah, it is. Too many cubic inches, but it fits in these. This is a very cool. There's.
These things
Oh,
are great.
Gloomhaven, I guess, does fit in it. There you go.
Yeah, see?
I use mine all the time. It's excellent.
But remember, when you get it, you can get a Dice Tower one. So that's why.
That's why it's on here.
No, just be warned that that's a thing.
That's why it wasn't his pig.
Yeah.
Dice Upon a Time.
This actually looks interesting to me.
You know, remember when he
Sounds
said he
cute.
didn't like the name? I don't like this name.
This is better than It's a Wonderful World. It just didn't fit. This fits. The cartoony thing. Dice Upon a Time. It's goofy looking. This kids. The other game looks like coming to you from Future Energy. Do you want a brighter future? It's a Wonderful World? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
No.
I see skies.
So I played both these guys' other games.
What are they?
Hexpanse,
Nope.
which was that.
We did not. Yeah, I don't know if
Space
we even,
game.
Did we play that one?
Oh, maybe we didn't.
I don't
I played
remember.
Invisible for sure.
You did.
But that's basically just a flip a card over and see what's missing or not. It's okay, but that's the game.
I think you did play Hexpanse. You may have even done the review for it.
It sounds possible. I do like the dice in this one. This was in the running for one of my picks, actually.
This looks all right, yeah.
Because if you
I think
put-
we all felt the same way, where this
I like
wasn't
this.
necessarily our picks, but we're all going,
The stacking
Yeah.
mechanism was cool.
Well, I don't like that that's the way they're taking the dice tower. Oh, hey, we're building dice towers. Back off my IP.
Ooh,
No, I don't care.
you
snap.
better be careful the first game doesn't steal your IP. It'll have a Tom Vassell figure in there pretty soon, a guy with a big red hat throwing dice.
So yeah, but this looks like there's a lot of these fairy tales right now. We were talking the other day how there's so many dark fairy tale games.
Yeah.
Here's
This
a
is not.
normal fairy tale game.
sure.
Yay!
Yeah. It looks nice.
Rise of the Elder Gods is from Connor McGooey. Z was mentioning that this is actually pretty close to the name Fate of the Elder Gods, which is probably confusing.
Yeah, and it's the same theme, I think. You're all the bad guys. You are the cultists trying to bring about your elder
I do
god.
like this artwork a lot, though.
I like it a lot, too, yeah. Again, this was actually a really good week for me. Sometimes I look through these projects and I'm
Yeah.
grasping at
Well,
straws.
Right.
wait till next 2 weeks from now.
Solid again. This one also looks good. Now, I was having a little bit of a hard time figuring out what kind of game I was looking at here, honestly. This is graphically
Yeah, they're more
nice.
showing you the game.
Well, you could have just scrolled down and kept scrolling. Like right here, you start scrolling here, and it's like, okay, when does this gameplay synopsis end?
Yeah, it was a little
really
confusing for me, but it looks good.
Yes.
I do like that you play the character and they can do multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
I love Cthulhu.
Do we know who the designer is? Is it Connor
Yeah,
himself?
yeah. It's
Oh, okay. Mark Street said it is okay.
No, he said, I mean, he had like extra exclamation marks in there. Look at that.
Exclamation, exclamation, question, exclamation, question, exclamation.
So it's more exclamation than it is question.
I got to talk to him. I don't know that we can afford that many punctuation marks. Our budget's
Stretched thin.
all right. Anyway, I
This
really like
looks
Connor
good.
as a person, so I'm looking forward to this one.
This is funded already?
Yeah, but
Barely,
it could
but
use
yes.
more
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
It's good stuff.
Big Bad Con. This is just a convention that I mentioned. I put this one in here not only because that's a lot of money. Most of the time, these conventions raise like $5,000.
No,
Unless this is actually giving you
apparently
the.
they
I saw that.
Oh yeah, okay.
So maybe that's one of the reasons why. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, I just as a matter of course, because hey,
That's actually my old stomping grounds. I only lived there for a year, but that's in the same area that I used to live in California, Walnut Creek area.
what does it mean by
over where
tabletop and live action gaming? Is that like?
LARPing, maybe?
Yeah, LARPing's got to be.
Got it. All right.
That's in the same area of town that the Black Knight, or I can't remember. The guy that has written like books about running a store in Black Knight Games or something like that. I can't remember.
I know who you're
remember his
talking about,
store.
and the name is slipping my mind.
But he's in Concord. Walnut Creek is in the same area.
Got it.
So,
A dice charger.
I was very confounded at first. I kept looking at the images like, wait.
does it actually charge?
Are your dice
you're
not
talking about
working anymore?
glow
Do
in
mine
the dark?
Yeah, really like charging the dice? Do they also sell me dice that need energy? It took me longer than I care to admit to be like, got it, glow in the dark dice.
You roll the dice and they just go boom.
You guys
Man,
know.
I need to recharge my dice batteries.
You know, I put in dice stuff here, but I gotta say, this one was doing nothing for me.
This is a stretch, yeah.
And I'm amazed that it sold this much.
Yeah, it's doing okay, right?
Who plays in the dark?
That's a lot of money,
Right.
man.
Who plays in the dark where you actually have to worry about your dice glowing?
Reapers. I'll be like, I'm hanging behind my shield. Make a sanity roll.
I like the I think it's the mech ones. The mech dice are the ones that looked the nicest to me, but still, I mean, glow in the dark dice.
All right.
And I think to charge them up so they really glow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because you can't just put them in a lit room.
No, right. You got to keep them in there. Ha ha! I don't know. It just seems really pointless.
All right, Raccoon Tycoon, the Fat Cat expansion. That's doing extremely well for a small expansion.
Yeah.
Why
But-
they gotta shame the cat like that? That's what I want to know.
Hey, I
I would
love
rather be called the big boned feline.
Fluffy cat.
I love Raccoon Tycoon. I know you weren't as fond of it, but
Correct.
You're wrong. It's an amazingly
I
great
am
game.
Sometimes.
So I don't care. Just more stuff. You
looks-
know,
I mean,
you
that's-
get the base
that's good.
game too.
And this is timely also because that game has been out now enough time for people to play it and enjoy it, but not so long that it's been forgotten. It's not so soon that it's like really an expansion already. That's good timing on their part. I got to give them kudos for that.
Otto Kramer says that quite a number of RPG groups prefer to play in dark rooms to emphasize the storytelling.
Sure.
Did you have
used
to
to-
write down stats and
I
stuff?
used to
though?
I used to play RPGs all the time in high school, and I don't think we ever played in a dark room because we were always having to look at our stats and.
You got to read. I mean, unless you really know your
Yeah,
stuff.
but now people just use their phones. To be like,
I
oh, you turned the
guess.
lights off. Cool. I love the atmosphere. Let me put in my headphones. Keep going. Yeah, I attack the darkness. Interesting. Alrighty. Well, that's the different projects. We always take a look at projects that are ending in the next 2 weeks or so. We'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about more. But before we continue on with this show, let's listen to our contributors.
So I'm going to let y'all finish Well, just so you know, this is FOMO, the segment where I take a look at a game that's currently seeking crowdfunding right now. Maybe you have a fear of missing out on it, and maybe you do too, and we'll go ahead and take a look together. Today, keeping with the theme of what I'm doing right now, we're looking at Upstaged. Upstage is a game where players are assembling the next big musical trio. The game ends when all players have 4 contestants, but the drama doesn't end there because one of your contestants has to be cut before the team is judged. On a player's turn, they'll first fill the center stage with a new contestant if one is not already present, and they can place this new contender in any direction they wish. Next, they perform up to 2 actions. This can be by playing a cue card from their hand and following the directions on the card in order, or by discarding 2 cue cards of the same color from their hand to move one artist forward. They then draw back up to 4 cards and play passes to the next player. There are different types of cue cards in the game, and some will move artists forward, some may switch artists, and often cue cards will rotate the stage and do a combination of things. Speaking of the stage, this is assembled before starting the game, and the box itself makes up the main stage once the runways are connected. All 4 runways are used no matter the player count. Once an artist moves off the runway, they join the team of the players seated in front of it. If that player already has 4 artists in their team, then that new artist upstages one of them. The player who is actively taking their turn determines which member of the group gets upstaged. It isn't over for the unlucky contestant though, as they join a team on the table that currently does not have 4 members. The game ends when all players have 4 members in their team. Each player then decides which contestant is cut from their team, and points are awarded based on the values of the contestants left, as well as any bonuses such as mentor, focus, and genre. The genre of a player is randomly determined at the start of the game. The game can be played in either rehearsal mode, which only scores mentor and focus bonuses, or live TV mode, which includes all of the bonuses. The player whose team scores the most points wins and upstages their opponents. So that's a look at Upstage. Now I do want to thank the publisher for sending that prototype copy, or rather letting me take it, because I actually saw this game at Gamma this year, and I was just out in the area playing games with people, and I had met with him earlier just to kind of get an idea of the game, and he pulled it out and we started playing, and you know what? I instantly fell in love with the simplicity of this, but also the artwork, and I'll touch on the artwork a little bit more in a minute, but I just fell in love with the fun of this game. We had played a full 4-player game and everyone was just having a blast. And I have to say, the designer of this game was a little modest. I think he really didn't realize what he had here. This is a wonderful game that I can play with family, I can play with non-gamers, I can play with gamers, and everyone has had fun. I've actually been playing this quite a bit for the past good month and a half now. What I really like about this game is, first off, how simple it is to learn. You only take 2 actions. But you're really trying to do this set collection, but you're doing a set collection on multiple levels, especially if you play in that live TV mode. And I love the artwork, as I said in the game. I love that whole silhouette thing. Now, that may not be for everyone, but I really love the, lack of a way of saying it, I love the inclusivity of it. It feels like they really tried to just make sure that everyone felt included and you can identify with the characters on the cards. So I just really loved that. The artwork really does capture the theme of the game, and it just feels welcoming. I love the choices I'm making. I love the spinning of the board. I love the way the box is part of the board. Overall, I just really enjoyed this game, so much so that when I was done playing it the first time, I immediately looked at Mike, the designer, and I was like, I want to take this and look at this for FOMO. When are you launching on Kickstarter? And he let me know, he let me take it, and I've played it a million times since. So I hope that Upstage is something that's piqued your interest. If so, go ahead and check out their Kickstarter. As of this episode, they've only got a day or 2 left, so get over there quickly. And I look forward to seeing you folks next episode, and I guess I'll get out of here and let Tom and the gang take back over.
Hey, board gamers. BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Crowdsurfing Lanyap. That's right, I'm bringing you projects that won't break your budget, but throw in a little something extra. Here's what I'm checking out this week. I'm looking at 2 projects, both of which I've played in prototype form. Take a look. If you like card games with stunning art, you need to check out Fickle, designed by Glenn Cotter. Bard Games is kickstarting Fickle this week. It features the fairy art of Amy Brown, and this impressive and unique art fills up every card. It's sort of a set collection game, but with a twist. The game will come with unique family decks, each with 9 fairy cards that all share the same power. It could be mechanisms like Take That, or moving cards around, or changing the way that they score. The families are shuffled together, and then players deal cards and play cards in an attempt to build the strongest fairy alliance and win the queen's favor. You want to keep cards that score you points, but keeping those fickle fairies happy and in your alliance, that's the trick of the game. We went through a bunch of different fairy powers. They were all unique. There's a lot of player interaction in Fickle, so if that's your kind of game, quick playing, easy to teach, lots of interaction, you should check out Fickle from Bard Games out on Kickstarter right now. Next up, I like town building construction games, so this next one, Construction Fever from Ninja Star Games, caught my eye. The premise, pretty straightforward. Players are going to compete to earn the most profit as a construction company, but there's a catch. Your corporation needs to keep its reputation high in order to win. You can rake in a ton of cash if you build construction projects that are geared mainly for profit, or you can build green projects that are aimed to be environmentally friendly. They really boost your rep, but it takes a lot of your construction workers to build those green projects. Balancing out the two types of projects, that's the key to victory. I love the delicious bidding in the game. For the black projects, you compete to make the least amount of profit to win the project, and those credits end up on the green projects instead. But for the green projects, you gotta bid with workers, and there's only 10 total, so bidding gets pretty cutthroat. I love the ebb and flow as your workers go out to build projects and then come back and help you bid for more. It's fun to watch. Plus, the game's not expensive. For only $26 plus shipping, you get the base game with all you need to play, and for just $6 more, you get some lanyap, a magnetic lid box, wooden pieces instead of tokens, and my favorite, dual layered player boards. Hey, so that's Fickle from Bard Games and Construction Fever from Ninja Star Games. Both games I've tried, both games I've enjoyed. Just remember that the art and components are not yet final. Until next time, laissez le bon temps rouler.
You folks are tired, it looks like. I'll go ahead and break the silence.
No, so I want to talk a little bit about Kickstarter fatigue. Is such a thing possible?
Yes.
It's inevitable.
That's a good word.
I mean, it is, right?
I'm going to spell it. I am tired.
You put a lot of effort into that, and I appreciate it. Most of the time, people have never got past the first letter, and you almost got into the second.
Barely.
All right. So fatigue, the whole, as a backer, you go in. Fatigue for me can come in various ways. One of the ways is the inundation of updates to the point where I've almost missed a couple of fill out the pledge manager because I just was like, yes, I know you got another piece of art to show me.
Right.
And that just wears me down. But the other is just you look at Kickstarter and it's work to go through it.
It is. It's shopping. That's the thing. And it's the tedious kind of shopping.
That right there might be the one reason why I'm just not drawn to Kickstarter.
Right.
I am very much, when I go to the store to buy something, I know what I want to get. I go and get it, and I'm done.
Right.
And I get out, and
But you don't like window shopping?
No.
Like even at a game store, you wouldn't go through and look at everything?
Nope. I mean, when we're at cool stuff, I'll sit there and I'll look at the stuff on the shelves, when it's not my turn or something like that, after I know what I'm going to be doing and all this, but I don't go to a store to look at stuff.
That's true. When we go to like conventions, you don't go look at all the old games, right?
No.
Yeah, we do.
I do.
I like doing that.
But it's still different. It's different being able to go to a store, and gaming is pretty much the only thing I do with where I go and look at the game and look at the back, and I'm like, oh, look, that's old. It's still on the shelf.
Yeah.
Kickstarter is like an exhausting kind of shopping, and it doesn't give me the same feeling. You know what I mean?
Well, with a game, I can look at the box.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm done.
Yeah, but see, I don't know. I just don't like shopping.
Right.
If I've got, part of it is, if I don't have the money for it, Why am I going to go look at it?
Right.
Because
It's never stopped me when I was a child. Were you this way when you were a
again,
kid?
when I was a kid, no, I wasn't like this. When I was a kid, I was like, ooh, commercials. Oh, daddy, mommy, look. I was always like that. That's the way kids are.
Making me think of the board game breakfast guy with the hat. Shut up!
Yeah, that's right. Daddy, can I have that? Shut up. No, I just don't. As an adult, I don't like shopping,
Yeah.
and that's what Kickstarter mainly is it's shopping.
Well, it's like really imprecise shopping. That's the other thing.
Well, I guess you could.
Like if
You
I go to
can
the
filter
store,
it, I guess. You can
No, but what
filter
I
it by
mean is-
the people that you follow on Kickstarter. If you pick the right group of people that follow the same kind of projects as you, if they hit on something, I get that you can do that, but still, I don't.
Well, what I mean is it's something that's not done. It's like if I go to the store and buy a can of maple syrup, there's maple syrup in there. I know what that is. When you were shopping on Kickstarter, for one thing, you might get the game, you might not. You're not really
Right.
sure if it's a good game or not.
Yeah, true.
Can't read reviews. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And to do so, you have to read a ton of. There's lots of
Fatiguing,
videos.
right.
There's lots of how to play. Download the rules. There's a lot going on into it, which is why, honestly, it's one of the reasons we do this show, so that you can go and look at all the different.
So it's helpful, right?
I hope so. I mean, because when I go through these Kickstarter things, there's a whole lot you're never going to see on this show because it's just not worth our time to go through them.
Right.
Not to mention Kickstarter's search engines were designed by people who hate humans. I feel they're not easy.
The Mr. E says it's a lack of immediate satisfaction, and I would slightly disagree with that. For me, it's not the fact that it's going to be months down the road before I get it. It's the fact that I don't like shopping.
Okay, but that sounds like I love shopping,
I know, that's fine.
but it still gets tiring for me because I feel when I look at a Kickstarter page, I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. When I go to the store, I can just take a box off the shelf and flip it around, look at it, go,
Cool,
think
fireworks,
about
this
it,
looks
yeah, and I'm done.
Right.
Buy or not.
Yeah. Somebody caught onto your can of syrup. They were like, can of syrup?
I have a can of syrup at home right now. It's maple.
A can of syrup?
Yeah, I
It
got
comes in an
from
aluminum can?
Stefan, yeah. He has his own farm, I guess you'd call it.
Huh.
Maple up in Canada, and he cans it. It's an award-winning maple syrup.
Really?
Yeah.
He cans it.
It's canned, yes.
See, I can't tell if trolling is
I'm
happening.
not trolling. That's a really long
Or-
troll. My trolls are not that long.
Yes, they are sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I have it. It's
Okay.
Yes, I know it's weird, but I said it on purpose because I happen to have one right now.
So what makes, if you're watching this, what makes you get fatigued with Kickstarter? Are you fatigued by just the amount, and how do you get over that? Do you just not look at it once in a while? I think for me that can help. I don't look, well, I do look at Kickstarter once a day, but when I wasn't doing it for the show here,
Right.
I look at it like once a week.
Right.
But maybe there's also the fatigue can be hurt by other people being like, did you see what's on Kickstarter today? Hey, what's on Kickstarter today? Did you see what's happening on Kickstarter today?
Right.
Also, if you back this, you'll make my copy get better.
Sure. Yeah, no, it is exhausting. I am almost never on Kickstarter unless something happens to filter through social media or something. I just don't know what's on there. And now I do a lot more because we're doing the show, so a lot of
Sure.
things seem interesting. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, and I like staying informed about those things. But it is very draining to, again, it's like going to school to find out about games that aren't even out.
I wonder if it seems more draining because of the physiological effect that looking at a screen has on you, because that does produce more fatigue with your eyes.
Maybe.
So maybe that plays more into it. I don't know.
All right, well, the Mr. E says I'm fatigued of getting ripped off. Getting ripped off in Kickstarter is still kind of
There's
a...
definitely a way to stop that.
For me, successful previous projects is an easy way to do that.
Yeah.
If they do 3 previous projects, boom, you're okay.
Yeah, that's fairly rare unless you go in there backing an unknown, an absolute unknown, and you're worried about that. Yeah, but it's like anything. It's like buying something on eBay or whatever. Just look at someone's track record.
Wolf Force says I get fatigued because there are too many. See, that's what I get, right?
Yes.
If we go to Kickstarter right now, how many projects are...
I'm going to take a guess. 17.
That's
That low?
That's super close. It's 309.
Huh?
309 projects are in the active tabletop games projects right now. But I look at them and like, okay, here's some that were just launched today. Construction Fever, it's 0%. Someone bid $1 out of 12,000. Has one backer. Of course, these might have just been launched, a minute ago for all I know.
Right, sure.
But then I look at these, I'm like, okay, miniatures. I'm not even gonna click that link. That one doesn't look that interesting. Maybe I should click it. I don't know. So then I click this one. Oh man, now I gotta go and drag it down and look at this page. Do I watch this video? So on and so forth. I don't know. Just for me,
It is.
for me, it's this constant. But I mean, this is a self-induced thing. Unless you're us, you don't gotta go to Kickstarter.
Sure.
Wait, what did this?
Sorry.
What's this one say? No. I blame the dice tower.
No, he says, I blame Dice Tower for my Kickstarter habits now. I was mostly unaware until I saw a tweet with Batman funding projections 15 months ago. Someone else says, I'm fatigued hiding from my boss in the electrical closet watching the
Dude,
Dice
that
Tower.
joke was funny last time. That's a one-time thing.
Somebody said that exact same joke last time?
It's the same person. They said it for my Q&A, I think, or something.
All right.
All right, anywho.
I don't know. I think it's kind of a weird thing to me when you have someone getting into the hobby now, right now, and in 2 months they're into Kickstarter and backing things. And I'm like, why? Are you
There's
kidding?
so
Do you know how
much-
many years of amazing games you have available to you where you don't even have to worry about what's coming up later? But it's that thing. It's that need to be on top of it. I got to know what's coming out. I want to play today what's coming out tomorrow. And if you let that thing bite you, you're always chasing hotness. You're never content because you're always on the chase for something that's not even out.
Mike Slaybaugh says he gets fatigued he mentions Simon games and how they jumped up on me, how the campaign opens for $90, but you end up paying $350 because of all the other stuff.
Oh, that's another topic. We'll have another day for sure.
So that's another thing.
Right, because so that's true though. You decided you're going to buy a $50 game. You're like, I don't know. Okay, I can afford $50 for this game. Optional add-on of $20.
Yeah.
Oh, now I got to think about it again.
Yeah.
That's also fatiguing, right?
That's the
true.
same thing as when you go buy the new car and the guy's like, here's your optional upgrades you can have.
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't even thought about that, but you're right. It's like backing it multiple times.
The Mr. E says, I'm fatigued of miniatures. That's another topic. I mean, are there too many games with miniatures coming out now?
Well, we'll talk about that in a future episode probably. We should.
That's that.
We got it. Chasing the Hotness Dragon. Sounds like a badge.
Chasing the hotness dragon.
There's probably a better way to put it.
Yeah, there is.
Well, while we're thinking about that, let's jump to some other contributors.
Sister Meeple here, bringing you my 5 most anticipated games coming to Kickstarter the last part of May and early June. May 24th. In Monstrosity, you will cooperate with up to 3 other players to defeat the evil genius Dr. Spotnik with your monster squad. Roll dice and activate your monsters to smash buildings, avoid obstacles, and steal golden power for your own crazy experiments. May 28th. Alter Quest has been on my radar for some time. Set in a fantasy universe, this game is designed by Adam and Brady Sadler and based on the modular deck system of Street Masters and Brook City. This game mixes different quest decks, threat decks, and villain decks along with evil lurkers to create a hugely variable gameplay experience. June 4th. Chip Theory Games is reprinting their entire line of Too Many Bones and introducing a new expansion, Splice and Dice. In this campaign, fans of Too Many Bones will be able to get a new Calyx-friendly storage solution for all of the Too Many Bones content, including the new expansion. Some have joked that it's going to need wheels because it is going to be very heavy. There will be a new add-on gear lock, Dart, the first 2-sided gear lock because she has an unstable side. The Splice and Dice expansion is a bit of a mystery for now, but I do know it involves genetic manipulation. Also launching June 4th is the 2nd season of Batman Gotham City Chronicles, which had a hugely successful Kickstarter last year, grossing over $4.4 million. Most backers have just recently received their pledge, so I'm curious. Will Batman outdo Bloodborne as the highest grossing Kickstarter campaign of the year? And will backers be glad or mad to have more content so soon? Last, for June 4th, there is a cute little game called Dungeon Drop with a unique gameplay mechanism I haven't seen before. You drop cubes on the table, then create a room by connecting 3 gray cubes to form a triangle. Then you get to take all of the cubes from that room and use them to progress your quest. Really looking forward to these next 2 weeks, and especially June 4th.
Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview recap. I'm Mark, and yes, I am back in the studio today instead of out on the trail because of our amazing Colorado weather. Not. So we're going to take a look at a bunch of new Dice Tower previews I've been working on. We actually have a ton going on and a ton upcoming. But let's kick it off with the Fat Cat expansion, the expansion to Raccoon Tycoon. Now this is a super accessible economic game with beautiful artwork, and the expansion adds a ton of new content. New cards, new tiles, new ways to play. Very interesting, and I really like the fact they've added these new player boards. So keep an eye on this one, and if you missed out, this is a good time to jump in. Next up, we have Imperium: The Contention. This is a 4X card game where you're exploring the galaxy and trying to conquer and be the next emperor. Lots of different races, lots of different abilities and powers these races can invoke and use throughout the game, as well as a system to allow you to customize your own decks. This is definitely one to check out, and it is a lighter 4X game, one that I found easy to draw new players into. Next up, we have Shard Slingers. This is a dice chucker. You are trying to be the ultimate wizard in the land and gain 18 points, spell points. You're going to be rolling your dice, trying to match symbols in order to get spell cards into your hand, and then use those abilities to help you throughout the game. Now, the game box opens up and actually becomes your playing area, where you'll store your dice and all your cards and all the magical spells you'll be acquiring throughout the game. Next up, we have Rise of the Elder Gods. In this game, you take on the role of one of the Elder Gods, which is pretty cool. You'll be controlling your pathetic humans in order to gain souls and be the ultimate Elder God that has the most souls in the end. However, along the way, you have to avoid some of those pesky investigators, as well as gaining resources and managing your followers. And in the end, the Elder God with the most souls is going to win. Next up, we have Gosh Darn Bubbles. This is an underwater themed game, a very light, easy, accessible game. And what you're doing here is trying to be the first player to get 3 treasures. You do that by finding chests and unlocking them. However, if there are bubbles inside, then you lose out on the treasure. There are all kinds of cards that do very different actions along the way, and there is a little bit of take that in this, but it is a very light, easy, family-friendly type game. Next up, we have Dungeon Royale. I told you we had a lot of games. So Dungeon Royale looks and feels a lot like those old video games, the old NES, Legend of Zelda, things like that. In this game, though, it is every hero for themselves, trying to get the most points, getting artifacts, getting kills, killing your fellow heroes in the dungeon, as well as trying to get the Stone of Life, because the king is on his deathbed. Stone of Life is worth 10 points and really the ultimate prize. As well, you have to avoid the dragon along the way. And finally, we have Eschaton, and I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly. I've tried it many ways. I'm going with Eschaton. So this game is a fairly large worker placement Euro style game with a pretty neat theme. You are an adventurer, a seeker, trying to get basically the most points in the game. But there are obstacles along the way. You have the giant colossus that has crystals or shards that you're going to pull to get points, and reputation points are really the key to the game. However, what's really neat here with the worker placement bit is that your player board has machines that you're going to deploy to the board in order to get their abilities by allowing you to pull more crystals, by getting more cards or getting more points. But as you unlock your character board or deploy these machines to the board, you actually level up your character. You get more abilities, ability to take on the parasites that the colossal leaves. You get more movement, and you open up these cells where you can place your crystals. More of them is better, so you have more options for all the crystals you'll need to spend in the game. All right, so my pick of the week. You know, There was a lot of really light games this time, some that were easy and fun to get to the table. However, I have to go with Eschaton because the worker placement aspect of this and how you level up your Seeker really worked for me. And I loved how the machines interact and how you deal with the Colossal that moves around the board. And just a beautiful game with lots of options, and it's definitely one to check out. All right, folks, if you want any more information on the games that I mentioned here, please go check out our full previews. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, thanks for watching, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.
This is Jamie from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about the backer survey that you send out after your project ends. Kickstarter allows creators to send out one official survey to all backers to make sure that they have their address correct, and that if you have any other information that you need from backers, like how many games they backed, how many add-ons they backed, just in case that information is hard to tell from the amount that they paid, you get that one survey that you can send out to your backers. Alternatively, you can use a third-party pledge manager like CrowdOx, BackerKit, and Pledge Manager, and I'll talk about that in a second. The first thing I want to talk about is timing, when to send out the backer survey. Typically on my projects, I would send out the survey right away. And that is because with my projects, I was ready to go to print right after the project ended, and so I needed to know how many copies to actually make. Not just for the main game, but also for maybe the premium version or any special add-ons that I was making. I needed to know those quantities, and I needed to get that information from backers. The risk in doing that, though, is that backers often have address updates if there's a big gap in time between when you send the survey and then when you actually ship out the game. So Kickstarter does allow for backers to update their address information through Kickstarter at any time if you leave that option open, but sometimes you might want to consider closing that gap. But the key point in time that you want to send that survey is when you need to know the quantities to actually make and send to backers. So the big debate with backer surveys is, do you use Kickstarter survey or do you use a third-party pledge manager like CrowdOx, BackerKit, or Pledge Manager? My most recent survey, before this video, last week I ran a survey among the readers of my blog. I've run these before, but every year there's a trend that I've noticed, and this year the trend really comes to light. The survey indicated that 70% of people who have a preference, 70% of backers who have any preference at all, prefer that you use Kickstarter survey for very simple projects. Like if there's only 1 or 2 pledge levels, there's no add-ons, very simple, you pledged it, you backed it, you want to get your reward. They prefer that you use Kickstarter for that. However, if you have any sort of complexity in the project, maybe there are a number of back-ons, maybe there were stretch goals that required back-ons or many different reward levels, backers prefer you use the third-party pledge manager. So simple for Kickstarter, complex for Pledge Manager. 70% of people prefer that. Beyond that, 21% of people prefer the Pledge Manager, just outright, always they prefer it, and then only 9% prefer the Kickstarter survey, always. So I would take that into consideration. If your project is complex, use a Pledge Manager. If your project is simple, use the Kickstarter survey. If you do use the Kickstarter survey, one little technique I used is I would send out, you send it out for every reward tier. So I would send it out for one tier and then wait like 30 minutes to an hour before sending out another, just in case I messed up with the wording, if backers have a lot of questions, if some of the survey results come in and they're a little weird, I might look at that first before sending it out to the next tier. And also, just a quick note, some people will never fill out the survey. There are some backers you will never hear from. I still get updates now from Euphoria, a project I ran 5 years ago. I still get people who just now realize, hey, I never filled out that survey, and they fill it out. So no matter how much you send out the survey or remind people after you send out the survey, some people just are never going to do it. And at a certain point, you need to decide, this is my cutoff. I'm cutting it off after this. I'm not going to accept any other surveys, and I'll just refund everyone who didn't make that fill out the survey, or don't refund it. You can decide how ethically you want to deal with that. If you have any other thoughts about the backer survey, I have a bunch of posts about this on my Kickstarter Lessons blog, or you can post in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.
And that's it.
What?
For another crowd surfing. We'll see you for another crowd surfing in 2 weeks. But tomorrow, live board game breakfast. We'll have a live snack talk inside it somewhere.
Ooh!
So skip breakfast,
Don't skip board game breakfast.
but skip actual food breakfast.
Yes.
In preparation for snack talk.
Based on some of the stuff from last time?
Oh, come ready to not really eat at all. Okay, you're right.
So there's that. Tomorrow, we're also doing our top 10 exploration games.
That's right.
So those are both going on tomorrow. And so there's lots of things coming up. Don't forget, if you want to come to Dice Tower Retreat, sign up for that on our website. Dice Tower Cruise, there's a waiting list. Dice Tower Con, like in 50 days or something, really soon.
Yeah.
Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thanks, everybody.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side, folks. Take care.